for Friday's inauguration. Hundreds of thousands marched across the United States and around the world in support of women's rights. And big changes are coming to RMU's landscape with the plans for 2 new buildings on campus. Next.
Today is Monday, January 23rd, 2017. I'm Eddie Shee.
And I'm Hannah Smith. Here's what's happening now. President Trump is getting busy at work today following his inauguration as the 45th President of the United States last Friday. During this past hour, Trump signed an executive order to withdraw from the negotiating process of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, an order that will show Democrats and foreign leaders that his campaign ideas are turning into actions. The executive order is anticipated to be the first Trump will issue on today, making this the administration's first major action on foreign policy. During Trump's inaugural address Friday, Trump vowed it would be the day the citizens took back the power. His address was based around nationalism and his philosophies, which were a rejection of a few former presidents. With the transfer of powers, Trump inauguration continues plans to change Obamacare, and the details are coming up in just a few minutes. Following President Trump's inauguration, hundreds of thousands of men and women descended on the Capitol to show their support for women's rights. An estimated 500,000 attended the massive march and is said to be more than the crowd that showed up for Trump's inauguration. Those who participated in Saturday's march are said to be more peaceful than the protesters that came out Friday. Thousands more are estimated to have participated in women's marches across the country and around the world.
Last Thursday, Colonial fans received a treat when the RMU men's basketball team beat CCSU 74-67, but that victory wasn't the only reason Colonials had to celebrate, as earlier in the afternoon, RMU President Dr. Christopher Howard announced the university's plans to build a new event center in place of where the Soul Center currently stands. This expansion of athletic facilities on campus and that $50 million in funding will also be used to pay for the new 2-story recreation and fitness center that will be located at the North Athletic Complex on campus. Construction has already begun on that project, and as we get updates, we're going to continue to bring them to you on RMUCentryMedia.com and on RMU-TV.
A disappointing night for the Steelers Nation yesterday with a 36-17 loss against the New England Patriots. While Steelers fans came out in droves downtown to support the team, many said the Steelers did not show up to play. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin also said in a press conference following the game that not really much went their way, including the score and the way the game was played. Sports anchor Rashad Christian will have more on last night's AFC Championship game in just a few minutes. A homeowner was shot and killed by officers who were responding to a burglary in Pittsburgh's Laramie neighborhood. Officials said while officers tried to gain access into the home, 57-year-old Christopher Tompkins began firing shots in the direction of the officers. The officers returned fire and Thompson was pronounced dead at the scene. Police arrested 23-year-old Juan Brian Jeter Clark for the suspected burglary. Thompson said he lived at the home with his family and his mother that he was licensed to carry.
Political conversations can get out of hand fast and occasionally end in hurt feelings, but earlier this morning, a Pittsburgh man got more than he bargained for when his right ear was bitten off after a result of an argument he was having about President Donald Trump. The 30-year-old victim was assaulted in his Amber Street apartment and was taken to the hospital for his injuries. Police do have a suspect, but will not be releasing his name until after the investigation is complete. Some good news for the victim, though. Officers were able to recover a part of his ear from the apartment.
Just days before President Trump's inauguration, Robert Morris held a panel discussion on the 2016 presidential election. Professors from different universities answered questions about the Electoral College, gender gap, the party reform, and predictions about the political future. RMU's own Professor Philip Harold moderated the discussion before opening up to questions from the crowd.
Temperatures this weekend hit unusual highs throughout the Berg, making for a rainy but overall enjoyable weekend. But the same cannot be said for the South, which was pummeled with severe weather ranging from hail to tornadoes that led to multiple deaths and countless injuries. With more on how the South is handling this disaster is RMU's weather forecaster, Malik Frierson.
A tornado has recently hit southern Georgia, of course, leaving a wake of destruction behind it, and many have been affected by its life, leaving over 18 deaths and over 50 injuries past it. There's going to be a severe wind gust warning in central Florida and parts of western Florida. Another part that was hit by the tornado, of course, parts of Mississippi, where 4 people were lost. There's, again, so much destruction has been left in the wake of tornado. The governor of Georgia has actually declared a state of emergency, which is, of course, very, very alarming. There's many other bad things that are happening in the South, and it's just terrible. Let's go with those whose lives are affected by the whole event. Let's go back to the desk with Eddie and Hannah.
And for everything you need to know about RMU news, sports, and be sure to check out rmucentralmedia.com.
And when we come back from the break, Republicans are set to propose a replacement to Obamacare today, but some are worried that it's not going to go as planned.
And earthquakes continue to shake the globe, with one deadly striking in Italy. We'll be right back.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Later today, 2 Republican senators will introduce legislation to replace Obamacare. Senators Susan Collins of Maine and Bill Cassidy of Louisiana will unveil the proposal, which they promise would give more power to the states on health care policy while simultaneously increasing access to affordable insurance that would cover millions of people. This news comes on the heels of an executive order President Trump issued just hours after being sworn in as president that directs the Secretary of Health and Human Services and agencies to interpret regulations as loosely as allowed.
A series of
CNN is reporting that at least 16 people have died after another 29 were injured in a Verona, Italy bus crash after it hit a pylon of a bridge. The bus was reportedly returning to Budapest, Hungary from a school field trip in France when the accident occurred. The bus was carrying 55 people in total, ranging in ages from 14 to 18.
Gambia's former leader Yahya Jammeh has left the country and went to Guinea after stepping down as president. This comes after troops from nearby Senegal were prepared to enforce last month's election results so that the new president could take power. The United Nations also backed the efforts by states in the region to remove Jammeh as president. Peace talks beginning and after a conversation opened up this morning between the rebel delegation and Syrian government officials at a hotel in Anastasia. They were joined by representatives from Russia and Iran, which back President Bashar al-Assad, and Turkey officials who support the rebels. While the meeting was closed to media, officials said it was The tsunami waves grew up to a meter above tide level. There was an estimate of 72,000 people experiencing shake. There is no report of injuries or deaths yet.
Mitsubishi Aircraft Corporation said today that they now do not expect to deliver their first plane until mid-2020, which is 2 years later than what was previously scheduled. This is the 5th time in less than 8 years the company has pushed back the delivery plans for its Mitsubishi Regional Jet, or MRJ as it is being called.
The first high-speed trains in Africa are now going in along the Atlantic coast of Morocco. These trains can reach speeds of 200 miles per hour and can cut the journey times between two cities in half. This $2 billion project has been in the works for a decade. The project was funded by the governments of
Neat, huh? It's the most advanced car on the road. All four wheels independently sprung. Torsion bar suspension, the greatest. The engine, air-cooled, so you never have to worry about boiling over or freezing. And it's in the rear for better traction. Stick shift, naturally. 4 forward gears. Bucket seats, well, what else? You can have it made up with a custom body, like this, for, $5,000–$6,000. Or you can have the same chassis with this slightly more familiar body for a lot less money. It's called a Volkswagen.
Bo, we got it. You got what? We found a way to put Simonized car wax and Simonized car cleaner all in one push-button can. And just how does it work, Professor Nitwit? Come on, we'll show you. Come on, we'll show you. Come on, Now look, the squirt's on. You push the button.
On the side of a road. Both players will be missed. In other news, the RMU women's basketball team beat the Bryant Bulldogs 62-46. It was a special day not only for RMU, but for Ananiki Stamalampru. She moved into third place on the RMU women's all-time scoring list with 1,570 career points. After a 6-2 loss, the men's hockey team was able to bounce back and defeat Air Force by a score of 2-1. That's all we have for sports. Now we're going to head to our very own weather center with Malik Frierson. What's it looking like, Malik?
Thanks, Rashad. Always great to hear from your spectacular world of sports. Now to the wonderful world of weather. It's not looking too wonderful. It's a rather dreary and gray day, high of 47 with lots of rain, lots of precipitation. So make sure you have your jacket, your umbrella, you have your something to protect you from that rain and precipitation. Let's go over to the tomorrow, and you'll see that it's going to be a high of 44. And again, you're going to need something to protect you from that precipitation, umbrella, jacket, whatever it is that protects you there. On your way to class, on your way to work, whatever. Over to the 5-day, much like my bow tie, umbrellas and jackets will be in season and in fashion. As you can see, it's going to high chance of rain on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And let's go back over to Eddie and Hannah at the desk.
Time we have for RMU Live this afternoon.
We'll see you next week.